Hello and welcome to my video for week 7 of the Coursera course, Introduction to Interactive Programming with Python. This is actually my second video of the week, so it's one of my videos for week 7. And we are working on a program called Spaceship. As you may have heard, Spaceship is called Spaceship this week, but next week we'll be extending the program and it'll be called Rice Rocks. So I'm kind of calling it both Spaceship and Rice Rocks. And I'm pretty excited because I have two different programs I want to show you that I think you're going to like. One of them is the sound test player. And I've been actually posting URLs for different versions of this as I've been working on it. I've been posting some URLs for it in the forum because there's been lots of discussion about sound problems people have been having. So this sound test player is a little program that is, it's an extension of the sound program that was shown to us this week in the weekly lesson about sound, and I went and stole the code that's in the examples for this week, and I just added some other sounds to it. So I'll show you that, and then I'm going to show you a sound test utility that you can actually add to your implementation of Spaceship or Rice Rocks if you wish to. And what it does is it asks the user whether they can hear the sound, and then it'll change from MP3 files to OGG files if they can hear the OGG files and not the MP3 files, but I'll show you that. I think you're going to really like it and be excited about it, so I'm happy to show you. And this comes with disclaimers and credits. As I said, I used code from the sound utility that was shown to us in this week's lessons, and it was from the examples. That's where I got it out of. It's in the examples page for Spaceship this week. I also used some code from the template for Spaceship because that's where it lists the various sounds that we need in Spaceship, so I used that. I used both the MP3 files provided by the teachers and also the OGG files provided. The disclaimer is that I take no responsibility for your program, for your grades, or for the grading decisions of your peers. So if you use the utility that I'm giving that can be used in Spaceship, you are using it at your own risk. Use of the code discussed in this video is not authorized or endorsed by me, the instructors of Introduction to Interactive Programming with Python, or by anyone. So with that, let's get to it. So here's the program that is this simple music player. And as I said, I've just added some additional sounds to it compared to the one that they showed us in the lesson for this week. So as I said, I just added some additional sounds. There are OGG files and MP3 files. You'll recognize these: ship thrust, explosion, missile, and there's also something called soundtrack that is included in the Spaceship template. I don't think we've used that one yet, but these four are all from the template for Spaceship. And both the OGG files and the MP3 files are made available to us by the teachers. So that's what those are. There's a music. There's some music I found. I think I found this on the web somewhere. And birds. Let's play birds. Uh-oh. Oh, it's a WAV file. That's right. I can't play it in here. I'm using Chrome and it doesn't play it. So that's no fun. Well, there's the music. And the way this works is when I start one of the sounds, then pause will work on that sound that I just started, and so will rewind. And also so will volume, as they showed us in the video, right? That'll just work on whatever is the current, the last sound that was started. If you play more than one, you're gonna kind of have a mess, so I would just play one at a time. So anyway, that's gonna look really similar to what they showed us. It's not a lot different, just has a few more sounds, and it's got the OGG file and MP3 file version, so if you are trying to mess around with different browsers, that can be helpful. So that's what that is for. And then the second thing I've got for you is this file that's got, it's got a test to put in the front of the Spaceship program. So let me show you how that works. Okay, so I decided that the first thing I should do is show you what it looks like in my program. So I've got my program. You can't actually see my code here. It's just off to the side. I'm going to start my program, and I'm going to immediately move the frame into the video. Here we go. Okay, so, whoops, uh-oh. Ah! Well, there we go. Okay, so I started it up, and you can hear there's a sound playing. I hope you can hear that in the video. I'm doing this in Chrome, and so it says before we start playing, we need to ask, can you hear this? And this is it's kind of like a splash screen that asks about the sound. So this is started up. Over here in the corner it says MP3. It's playing the MP3 version now. And since I can hear it, I'm going to click yes. It says, thanks, we'll use this sound format. Click anywhere to continue. So I click, and it takes me to my game complete with sounds. Woohoo! Okay, so that's pretty great. All right, so I want to show you how you can use this in your program if you want to, because I've made this little utility that you can add to the front of your program. I'm going to show you how it works. Okay, so here I am in Code Sculptor with the sound check for Spaceship / Rice Rocks. It's got a pretty long comment in the beginning, which gives the purpose of the program, the source of the program, disclaimers, directions for use. It's got lots of stuff there in the comments. And I'm going to go over the directions for use with you. That's kind of actually the main purpose of this, is to just go over the directions for use. So if there's anything that's confusing, it'll be very clear, I hope. So first, very important, keep your current version of Spaceship or Rice Rocks. Save a version. Keep the URL. Copy that URL somewhere. Make sure it's safe, because you're going to make some changes, and you got to make sure you got a copy. Okay. Number 2, look for the code on line 45 to 50 below in your Spaceship or Rice Rocks file. Well, let's go look at that. Line 45 to 50. Line 45 to 50 contains all this sound stuff. This is from the template for Spaceship, so I know it's in your program. And you're going to look for that, because what we're going to do is we're going to insert a bunch of stuff right after that in your copy of the program. So you're going to look for, where is that? Okay, look for that. Most likely it's on line 71 to 76, because that's where it was in the template. But wherever it is, you're going to find it. The last line you're looking for is explosion sound. That's here on line 50. Explosion sound. So like I said, we're going to put some stuff from this sound check right after that. So that's why we're looking for that. Okay, copy step 3. Step 2 is just to find that. Step 3 is copy everything in this file from line 52 to the end. So line 52 is actually after this part, because this part is already in your program. It's from the template. And what you're going to do is you're going to copy from this comment 52 all the way to the end of the file, like so. And then you're going to copy everything, paste it into your Spaceship Rice Rocks code immediately after the line with explosion sound. So what that would look like, here's the template for Spaceship. I'm going to do it in the template. And in the template, there's explosion sound on line 76. I'm just going to go in here and paste all that stuff. I just pasted like a whole slew of stuff in there. So now we've got, there's the stuff that was already there, and then here's the stuff I just pasted. Okay. All right, so we did step 3 was to copy and paste. Step 4, change the name of the function draw. Oops, that should say draw canvas. Let's make that say draw canvas. New program to Spaceship draw canvas. It currently says this, define draw canvas, change to say define Spaceship draw canvas. Note, this is the draw function that is not in any class definition section. This is the draw function that is the main one in the program I'm going to show you. But that's very important, because there's 3 different draw functions and draw methods in this program. It's got to be the right one. Now, you may feel a little nervous about this, because of course we know that the draw function is very important. It's our draw handler, and it's in charge of all these things. But you have to use it if you're going to use the sound check, because the sound check is expecting that draw handler to be called Spaceship draw, and it's going to turn over control of that, and so it has to be there. So we're going to go find the draw canvas, the definition of this function, and change it to Spaceship draw. Let's do that in the template too. Okay, now I said there's 3 functions or methods that are called draw. There's the one in the ship class. That's not the one we want. There's the one in the sprite class. That's not the one we want. Here's the one we want. Define, draw, canvas. So we're going to make this say Spaceship draw canvas. Because later on, inside of the mysterious sound check code, it will call it right there. If state is 6, Spaceship draw canvas. Okay, so it's expecting it to be called that. Okay, great. Okay, we did that step. What's next? Okay, so that was step 4. Step 5, place the following line immediately after the frame set draw handler draw, which is in the register handlers section, very near to the bottom of the template. So the sound check is looking for a mouse click, and the Spaceship program does not have a mouse click handler in it. So whoops. We're going to go back in here and we're going to add that right there. Okay, so that was step 5. Step 6, test your program and save it. Important, you must test your program with this change. I take no responsibility for what happens, even if you do test it, but for sure you want to test it. It actually took me a really long time and a lot of tries to get this right. I could not believe the number of errors I had with the sound and having variables that weren't declared in the right places, and I've tested it with the template, but I still want you to test it. I want you to make sure it works. So here's the template, right? Is this the right thing? Okay, and we're going to run it. There was the missile firing off. Okay, so the sound this is playing, it's actually this thing called soundtrack, which is a very long sound file, which is why I picked that one for the test. I didn't want something really quick. I wanted something longer. So it plays for a long time, and it takes a few seconds to begin. I hope you can hear it in the video. I can hear it. So I'm going to say yes to that, and then anywhere, click to continue, and we've got the template version of Spaceship. I want to show you what happens if I say no to that. So here's this first thing. Can you hear this if I say no? This is, down here it says MP3. This is the MP3 version. I say no, and then it plays me the OGG version. Slightly different colors just to like highlight something changed. And I'm going to say, if I say no to that, then it says, sorry, you can't hear it. Click anywhere to continue. Let's get rid of this program and start again. If I were to say no to the first one and yes to the second one, it says thanks, we'll use the sound format. So basically it starts with MP3 as the format. If they can't hear the MP3s but they can hear the OGG files, then it changes the files to use the OGG files. And it does use a couple of variables that are already in your program, like the names of the different sounds and stuff. So that actually is also spelled out here at the beginning of this, right there. So there you have it. That's my my sound file excitement for this week. And I'll put these two URLs. I think there's a way I can put them in the thread. Yeah, I can just put them in the thread for this video. And you can get to these two files if you want to use the sound check or if you want to use the code that you can put right into your own program. So they both kind of sound the same. They're both sort of sound check utilities, but one of them is a standalone thing and the other one is something you can use to do like a splash screen kind of thing in your Spaceship program. So hope you enjoy those and have a lot of fun with them. Thanks. Bye.